All right, so good evening, everyone. I hope you had a very beautiful day. Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right, thank you. Please, I want you to, I want the class to be as interactive as possible. All right. I just don't want to, talk and talk to the air. I want to, I'll ask you questions, then I need feedback. Is that okay? Hello, everyone. Okay, so today we'll be talking about copywriting, and so let me just give you, because I'll be teaching you for the next 3 days. I'll be teaching you, copywriting, and these are the things that we're going to be talking about in this training. Number one, we'll be talking about introduction to copywriting. Then I'll be teaching you two types of copywriting. I'm sorry, I meant types of copywriting, not two types of copywriting. Types of copywriting. Then we're teaching you copywriting terms. Terms that copywriters use. Um, then myths and ideologies about copywriting. Then we'll talk about copy formulas. We'll talk about how to make researches. We'll talk about sales psychology and how to make money as a copywriter. So those are the things we'll be talking about in this training. And for today, I'll be teaching you, I'll be introducing you to copywriting. Then I'll teach you about types of copywriting terms, and all of that. Is that okay? Hello, everyone. Is that okay? Can we do that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, copywriting. Is there anyone, I want the class to be as interactive as possible. So, is there anyone who wants to tell us, what copywriting is? Anyone wants to tell us what copywriting is? I mean, what is copywriting? What is copywriting? Anybody?
Can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead.
What I understand by copywriting is expressing one's idea or advertising one's business in a well structured body of words.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well thought. Thank you so very much, Mr. Emeka. Thank you. All right. So to not take our time, because I want tonight's class, I want it to be as quick as possible. So, what is copywriting? Copywriting is a form of writing that persuades the reader to take a predetermined action. You see, copywriting is a form of writing that persuades, in other words, that convinces the reader to take a predetermined action. Now, it doesn't matter what the action is. The action could be to buy an item, or to vote for someone, or to accept an idea. It doesn't matter what the action is. The action can be anything at all. So any piece of writing that can motivate, anybody to do something, that is a form of copy. Do you understand?
Yes, we understand.
Please, I want you guys to give me feedbacks, because this training is not a one-sided thing, and your feedbacks will, whether you like it or not, I have a lot I have a lot I can tell you about copywriting, and your responses, your feedbacks are what will motivate me to, um to be able to teach better, and help me also. So that's why I'm soliciting for your feedbacks. Do you understand? So when I ask you questions like, do you understand, I expect you to unmute your mic and tell me if you understand. All right. Thank you very much. So I've told you what copywriting is. Copywriting is a form of writing that persuades the reader to take a predetermined action. The action could be whether to vote for someone, or to buy an item or to accept an idea. Whatever it is you want someone to do, and you put it in a piece of paper. That is a form of copy. Okay, so that said, what is the principle behind successful copywriting? All right, what is the principle? Because whether you like it or not, life is built on principles. It's built on systems and structures, and that is what makes life stand. Without the systems, without the structures, we won't be able to replicate success. Do you understand? We won't be able to build edifices. What I'm trying to say is that there is nothing like let's say, for instance, I wrote something. All right, just pay attention and follow me carefully. Let's say I wrote something, and what I wrote, I read it to some people, or some people read what I wrote, and so it got them to make a buying decision. They bought something because of what I wrote. Now, if there are no principles that I applied that made them to buy what I wanted them to buy, all right, I won't be able to replicate. In other words, if I'm trying to make a sale tomorrow, all right, if I'm trying to sell something tomorrow or next week, and I needed to write something down so that people can read it and buy again, if there are no principles, I won't be able to replicate that success again. Do you understand? And that's why life is based on principles. There are principles to everything. Human beings find time to carefully, because we like to replicate success. So once something succeeds, human beings like to document them, and they like to pass them on from one generation to another, so that they can be replicated. Do you understand me? Okay, so what is the principle behind successful copywriting? Because whether you like it or not, there are bad copywritings. There are bad copywritings. There are good copywritings. There are sales copies that have failed. There are sales copy that have succeeded. All right. So human beings are the readers of copy. That's the first thing you need to understand. You don't write a copy for animals. You don't write a copy for trees. You don't write a copy for rivers and all of that. Human beings, you write copies for human beings. Okay, so because of this, because copies are directed, the audience of copy are human beings. All right, so copywriting is driven by the human psychology. Are you following me, or you're lost? Are you guys following me? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we are following.
All right, thank you. So human beings are the readers of copy. And so because of that, copywriting is driven by human psychology. So that's the principle. That's like the principle behind, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that's the principle behind a successful copy. Human psychology. All right. So any knowledge and application of human psychology, hello, listen to this very carefully. Any knowledge or application of human psychology to persuasive writing will aid the success and the effectiveness of a copy. So when you apply psychology, all right, when you apply tricks learned from people who have taken time to study the human mind, when you apply those tricks in your writing, it will help you. It will help your copy to be successful. It will increase the effectiveness that your copy will have. It will increase the conversion rate of your copy. And that's why one of the things I'll be teaching you in this training is psychology, sales psychology. Just a few tricks here and there that will help you to make to make your copy more enticing. Are you paying attention now? All right, let me just give you an example. One of the tricks that we use as copywriters, I mean, one of the long-lasting tricks we use as copywriters is what we call storytelling. Storytelling. All right, let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say. All right, I didn't plan to give this example, so just give me a minute as I search for the example I want to give you. All right, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
It's okay.
just give me like a second. Let me look for, because it's been a while since I wrote this down, and wow, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Sorry, sorry, that was unconscious. That was unconscious. Sorry about that. Oh God, I hope I find this. Real quick, real quick. I wasn't. I never thought I was going to, use this as an example for you, and so that's why I don't have it in my. I don't have it noted down. So what I was just trying to say is that story. When you tell stories, it will help your readers to, because human beings like gists. Humans as human beings, all of us, we like gists. We like, every one of us like gists. And so when you're writing, all right, when you're writing, if you can successfully put, like, make your copy look like a gist, a lot of people will read your copy, because human beings don't like being advertised to. Human beings don't like to, they don't like to, they don't like being sold to. They don't like to read copies. The moment they discover that you're trying to sell to them, that moment you've lost them. And so if you can master the art of masking your copy to not look like a copy, if you can master that, I'm promising you that you've successfully been able to, successfully, you've reached 70%. You are like, you're 70% good at copywriting. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you can max your copy to not look like a copy per se, and you max it to look like to just look like something normal, like a normal gist, you are 70%. I'm promising you 70% like a guru in copywriting. Do you understand? And so, well, I might not be able to, maybe I will show you this example tomorrow, just to not waste our time. So let me just get on with a training. I'll show you what I want to show you tomorrow. Okay. So copywriting at the very core, to simply break copywriting down to the smallest particle, copywriting simply means persuasive writing, or otherwise you can call it a compelling writing. Do you understand? So your duty as a copywriter is to, use persuasion techniques, all right, in your writing, to lead your reader to take the desired action, the action you want them to take. So that's your job as a copywriter, to use persuasion, to make your writers, to convince them. That's your job, to convince them to do what you want them to do. Now, I want you to take note of the word persuasion. Do you understand? So, to simply put it, copywriting is like a game of applied psychology. Are you guys getting it, or you're lost? Are you getting this?
Yes, we are getting it.
Okay. So there are a lot of persuasion techniques that you can apply to kind of solidify and energize your copy, to make your copy very powerful and very compelling. So there are a lot of them, and hopefully I'll teach you one or two or three of them in this training. All right. So let me talk to you about where where can copywriting be applied, because one of the fears of copywriters is, okay, once I've learned copywriting, because a lot of people tell you that copywriting is the first skill, the leading skill in the digital industry, and if you ever want to be successful in the 21st century, you have to you have to be a copywriter, or you need to hire a copywriter, and blah 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 blah. And yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that what you're saying is true and very very true, but the thing is, most of the people who say things like these themselves do not understand the areas that copywriting can be applied. And so when you ask them to break down their points, and you're trying to understand what they're trying to say, they're just awestruck and quiet, and they don't know how to explain what they're trying to say. So I'm not just going to tell you that copywriting is the best skill to learn in the 21st century. I don't like to say it like that. Just tell you that if you want to be successful, well, you need copywriting to be successful. You need it. All right. But where can copywriting be applied? Okay. Now, you see, copywriting is so interesting that you can use it in so many areas of life. So many areas. So many areas. All right. For example, you can, when it comes to publicity, you can copywriting is there. Number one, publicity. Number two, marketing. Number three, sales. Now, a lot of people do not understand that there's a difference between marketing and sales, but that's where I'm going today. That's the difference between marketing and sales. They are not the same thing. Okay. So publicity, marketing, sales, branding, propaganda, and public relation. All right. Now, I'm aside being a copywriter and a visual communicator, I'm also I'm a pastor, right? I pastor a church, and as a pastor, as a man of God, I've used copywriting to prepare some of my messages. In fact, most of my messages are crafted, because you can't separate copywriting from me. You cannot. I just cannot separate copywriting from me. It's just part of me. Okay. So I've used copywriting to prepare sermons. So I'm just trying to tell you that copywriting can be used in almost all areas of life. When I was a student, before I graduated from the university, I I I used copywriting to answer my exam questions. And yeah, though I might not be the brightest student in the class, I might not be the most intelligent student in the class, but the thing is, I usually score the highest in the exam, usually. And it's not because I don't consider myself to be superly intelligent or to be superly brilliant. I just think I'm an average guy who knows how to use copywriting to his benefits. All right. So copywriting will help you a lot. Leave career aside, leave making money aside, leave other things aside. Whatever you're doing now, copywriting will help you. So far it has to do with writing. So far it has to do with it has something to do with writing. Do you understand? So aside being a pastor and all of that, I post a lot on social media. You can search me on Facebook, although I left Facebook for now. But you can search me on Facebook. Just search Richard Kings on Facebook, and you can read a couple of my posts. And I'm promising you, as you're reading my posts, there's no way you can be glued to my post. It's just impossible. I mean, just search, go minimize your phone right now, go to Facebook, and some of you might think I'm just bragging, and some of you might think this is me being cocky and being proud or probably arrogant. Well, it doesn't matter. But I think if you search for my name right now and you go to my Facebook page, you fall in love with my writings immediately. How? Copywriting. Do you understand? So copywriting will help you in your social media posts, in your speeches, in your articles, in your whatever. If your pastor is going to help you to prepare a sermon that will penetrate into the soul and the hearts and the spirit of your members. Okay, so uh, Oh Jesus! Now here's the thing: most people who approach copywriting actually approach copywriting from the perspective of sales and marketing. You know, like making sales and business and all of that. That's what a lot of people think copywriting is used for. And yes, I don't blame them. I don't blame them because everybody's after money. But the truth is that once you've acquired the skill of copywriting, you will see the numerous possibilities. Oh Jesus! You will see that the possibilities of copywriting are unlimited. They are vast, numerous, and overwhelming. Are you paying attention to me? Copywriting is so powerful, 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 powerful. And that's what I'll be teaching you in this training, all right? So, okay. So let me show you the classification of copywriting. How is copywriting classified? Now, the things I've been talking to you about this morning might sound boring and uninteresting and all of that. But the truth is that this is what you need. This is what you need, though. Please believe me. I understand that copywriting is 100% practical, but without understanding the basics is always a thing. There was a time I was learning how to play keyboard, the piano. I was learning how to play the piano, and so my instructor at that time would come to me with long, a very big material, talking about 50 pages, 100 pages materials that I'm supposed to consume. And I'm like, hello, sir. I'm not here to come and become a bookworm. I'm here to learn how to play the piano. I want to learn how to play keyboard like tan 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 tan, and then be able to, back up musicians as they sing in their shows, as they sing in the church, and all of that. And so my instructor would always tell me that the basics is always important. You have to start from the basics. But then I was uninterested, so I would skip classes. I was so it finally gave me what I wanted, because you can actually be practical without understanding the basics. Yeah, you can know the practical, all right, the practical aspect of whatever you're trying to learn without understanding the basics. But the thing is that it will always backfire in your future. Yes, it will always backfire. And so my instructor finally gave it to me, and so he taught me the practical aspect of keyboard that I wanted to know. And so I knew how to play keyboard. I could literally back up any song, sing any song. I'll back the song up for you on keyboard. So I was very good. Then all of a sudden I started discovering that I was limited. There were some keys I couldn't play on. I could only play on key F sharp. I could only play on F sharp. I could play on F sharp, and I could play on D. All right, I could play on both of them. But then there were other keys that I couldn't play on. If I had the D and the C that I could play on also, I couldn't play professionally on them. I could just play professionally very well on the F sharp. And so I had to go back to the basics. And so in fact, I couldn't transpose. I didn't know how to find keys. So if I need to play to a song, I would need to find another keyboardist or another musician, another instrumentalist to help me locate the key of the. Now, if you're not in the music, you might not understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so I have to find someone to help me identify the key, the key that a singer is singing on. So they identify the key for me. Then I back up the music. It was disastrous. I mean, what kind of keyboardist plays like that? So it backfired on me. I had to go back to the basics. And so also copywriting, I didn't start copywriting following the basics. In fact, I didn't know anything called copywriting terms. I didn't know anything called classification of copywriting, types of copywriting, what is copywriting. I didn't know any of those things. But then if I write for you, oh Jesus, if I write for you, And so I never learned copywriting formally. I didn't. So the way I learned copywriting was by reading. I was reading books. I just read books. I read more than 100 books on psychology. And so I was very good with human psychology. And so I knew how to use my words the right way to influence people and convince them and persuade them. So to make my writings relatable and all of that. So that was it for me. But then when it comes to the industry itself, I couldn't make a lot of giant strides. And so that's why it's very important. So I had to go back. I had to start begging a lady whom I perceive, because all these copywriting gurus you see on Facebook, I'm sure you can bear me witness. All these copywriting gurus you see on Facebook, on Instagram, and all of these places, they don't know nothing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do I have someone? Do I have a witness here? Do I have a witness here? These copywriting coaches and all of that, they don't know anything. Their copy itself, you read their copy and you're like, seriously, is this a copy? This is a sales copy. This is supposed to make me buy something from you, right? And it's so there was a lady whom I perceived I was very impressed by her sales copy. So I had to start begging her. To teach me the basics of copywriting. I knew how to use copywriting. I was very good when it comes to practice. When it comes to writing copy, I could write copy, but I didn't know the terms, and it was it was implicating me in my career. It was implicating me because I couldn't work with certain brands and all of that. So I also didn't have the confidence to apply for some jobs. So that's why I'm taking my time to teach you this first of all. And trust me, they are boring. They are boring. The theories are always boring. The practicals are always exciting. They are always, adventurous. But it still doesn't change the fact that boring is part of life. And so you have to go through the boring stuff. So here we go. Let's talk about the boring things. So classification of copywriting. Okay. So now this is just to help you have a clear picture of the whole concept and the practice of copywriting. All right. So copywriting is classified by let's say by 6 things. All right, by 6 things. And you should, if you're not taking notes of all the things I've been saying since morning, that's bad. That's very poor. All right. So please ensure you take notes. Do you understand me, everyone? Do I still have you listening to me, or I'm just talking to myself?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So please ensure you take notes. Take notes, because now here's the thing. My sake, well, I understand that the course has been recorded. Sorry about that. I had a call came through to my phone, so sorry about that. The call might enter again also, but please just sorry about that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. It's someone is trying to reach me, and I don't know how to tell this person that I'm in a train. Let me just text the person. Let me text the person. All right. So now some of you might say things like, well, I'm going to go through the training. Please give me a minute. Let me text this person. Okay. So some of you might say, well, since the course has been recorded, I'm going to go through the lectures later and all of that. Well, breaking news, you won't go through the lectures later. All right. You won't go through it. There are many lectures you said you will go through later. You never did. You still have it in your mind to go through them later, but you're never going to go through them later. So it's better for you to maximize this opportunity now and start taking notes either on your phone or get your pen and your paper and start taking notes right now. Okay. So 6 classification of copywriting. All right. Number 1, copywriting by the nature, or classification by the nature of employment. Now, so copywriting can be seen as you can be seen as an agency copywriter or a freelance copywriter. So what I'm trying to say is that the way you work, all right, employment, by the nature of employment, how do you work? Do you work for an agency or do you work as a freelancer? So you have copywriters who work with agencies. You have copywriters who work for um who work for who work as freelancers. I've worked as a for agencies before, and I'm also working as a freelancer. So I've worked for brands like Limitaka. I've worked for brands like I forgot the name of this brand. This brand. So I've worked for agencies, and I work as a freelancer. So who is a freelance copywriter? A freelance copywriter is someone who is not hired by any company. You just you source for clients, and you get clients, and you write copies for them, sales copy for them, and so you get paid. All right. So an agency copywriter is someone who works for a particular company or a particular brand or a particular business. That's where you work and you get paid, let's say per month or per week or per whatever. Do you understand? So that's it. Now, copywriting classification by industry or niche. By industry or niche. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. There are finance copywriters, all right. There are health copywriters. There are religious copywriters. There are sports copywriters. There are B2B copywriters and all of that. So by your industry or your niche. So when it comes to maybe I might get there, I might not be able to get there. But when it comes to making money as a copywriter, which is what a lot of people are usually after, um, the first thing you need to come down to is you have to niche down. You have to niche down. What niche do you want to be? Do you want to be a health copywriter, or you want to be a relationship copywriter, or you want to be like a personal development copywriter, or you want to be a religious copywriter, which I doubt anyone will hire you, though. Or you want to be a sports copywriter. The various needs. You can research that on your own later. All right, so there are also copywriters by type. Copywriters by type. Okay. What this means is, like, we have people like sales letter copywriters. There are copywriters who write sales letters. Sales letters. If you don't know what sales letter is, we're probably going to get there. Maybe we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Like sales page copywriters, there are email copywriters. If you've ever signed up for an email before, and so you get emails from a particular business or from a particular person, and they're trying to persuade you to buy from them. That job is being done by an email copywriters. While sales page copywriters are people who write copy for sales page. Now, some of you might not know what sales page is, but to simply put, a sales page is, let's say you're going through Facebook, and so you're seeing grab this offer now. And so you click on the link from Facebook, then the link takes you away from Facebook right away. Then it takes you to your browser. And in your browser, you're seeing these free reports will show you how I became a millionaire within 2 hours, all of those kind of things. And so you're going through, they are usually long. And so you're seeing things like grab this offer now. And so you're seeing a countdown, what's it called now? Gadget in the I say gadget, widgets rather, widgets in the sales page. All right. And so they are trying to they are trying to get you to make a buyer's decision. They are trying to make you to get to buy a course or buy an ebook or buy their training or all of those things. And so as you're going through that sales page, there's a lot of screenshots of people recommending that guy, or probably videos of people saying, wow, this guy is literally the best. This guy is literally very good at what he does. He blah, blah, blah. Ooh, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes,
Hello
yes, we
there.
understand. You
Yes,
So
understand, sir?
understand.
that's what a sales page is. Let me give you an example. Okay, give me a minute. I want to give you an example of what a sales page looks like. um 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 okay, all right. I'm sending a link to the group now. Sending a link to the group, a link to the group, a link to the group. Okay. So I just sent a link to the group. Oh, thank you, Mr. Emeka. I'm just seeing you're you're enjoying the teaching. Thank you very much for the compliments. Thank you. All right, so I just sent a link to the group now. You can click on the link. All right, click on the link. So now if you clicked on the link, let me try to share you my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now you see this is a sales page. This is what a sales page looks like. You see, this is a sales page. This person is trying to get you to make a buyer's decision. Can you see how long it is? Can you see how long it is? This is a sales page. So there are copywriters who deal with sales pages, and there are copywriters who deal with email. For example, look at this. This is an example of email copywriting. All right, email copywriting. So I said that. Then I went on to the second to the I mean, did I say the second? I went to the fourth classification. I said classification by response time. Now there are two subcategories under by response time. Number one, there is direct response copywriting, and there is brand copywriting. Now, direct response copywriting is done. That's the kind of thing I do. I'm a direct response copywriter. All right. I don't know so much about brand copywriting, but I'm a direct response copywriting. So, although I can do brand copywriting, but then I'm not very good at it. But direct response, please give it to me. All right. So, direct response copywriting is done with an intention of drawing immediate response from your reader at the end of reading the copy. You see that? So in other words, what we do as direct response copywriters is that we want our readers to buy immediately. Immediately they are reading the copy, immediately they are done with it. We want them to make a buyer's decision. Do you understand? We want them to buy immediately. All right. While a brand copywriter on the other end, now this training has been going on for the past few days or few weeks now, and I understand that some people have taught you, and they might have taught you that there's a difference between copywriting and content writing, and I don't quite agree with that. I don't agree with that. I know it is controversial, but I don't agree with that, because what people call content writing is actually brand copywriting. Here it is. I want you to understand that content writing itself simply means writing. Simply means writing. Content writing means writing. It means writing content. Copy is a content. Sales copy is a content. Do you understand? Sales copy is a content. So under content writing, we have types of content writing. Copywriting is a type of content writing. Academic writing is a type of content writing. Do you understand? There are different types of content writing. Do you understand? So a lot of coaches, online coaches, tell you there are different types of content writing is different from copywriting and blah 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 blah. They don't know book. Please forgive me if you're one of them that say that you don't know what copywriting is actually about. All right. Copywriting is under content writing. because copywriting is a form of content. It has writing at the back, for God's sake. It has writing at the back. It is copywriting. And content writing simply means writing. It simply means writing. In fact, if you go to Google and you search for types of content writing, the first thing you'll be seeing on top of it is copywriting. There's copywriting, there's technical writing, there's creative writing, there's business writing, there's narrative writing, there's screenwriting, there's journalistic or news writing, there is essay writing. These are types of writing. Do you understand? So copywriting is under content writing. Do you understand? Let me send you a screenshot. I just went to Google now to screenshot that. All right. Wow. I think posting of pictures is not allowed on the scripture because it just went off like that. I posted a picture, then it went off. So maybe it's not allowed, but check it on Google. You'll see what I'm saying is true. So now pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. What a brand copywriter does is that a brand copywriter seeks to make a reader accept and remember and prefer a product promoted in their copy. So it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing. For instance, today I was researching about my smartphone. I wanted to know certain things about my smartphone because I wanted to get an update. So when I use Tecno Camon 17 Pro. So when Tecno came about producing this phone, they told us, they came out, to marketing tactics. So they came out to tell us that this phone has the clearest selfie camera for Android ever. That's the work of a brand copywriter. They're making us prefer their products. The product wasn't ready, but they were wetting the ground already. Then they told us that the smartphone is going to come with Android version 11, but then it's going to be upgradable to Android version 12, which they haven't fulfilled that promise though, but that's what they told us. So they were patronizing us, writing to us to make us desire the smartphone. Do you understand? So that's the work of a brand copywriter. A brand copywriter releases information from time to time about the brand that makes you desire the brand. And so that's what a lot of people call content writing. They say content writing is the art of I beg, get out. There's no definition for content writing. Is just simply means writing. Do you understand? Simply means writing. That's content writing. And so there are, under content writing, you have copywriting. Do you understand? So what a lot of people call content writing is simply brand copywriting. And what a lot of people call content copywriting is simply direct response copywriting. And so I just wanted you to understand that. I don't want to stay on that. So also classification by function. All right. Classification by function. For example, there are sales copy that are for the sole purpose of SEO. SEO simply means search engine optimization. All right. There are also copywriters that are used for the sole purpose of writing articles. All right, and all of that. So the sixth one is copywriting by expression, by medium of expression. All right. Now a medium is a channel. Everyone knows that. So the platform, it simply means, what I'm trying to say here is that the platform through which you're using to advertise your copy. The platform. For instance, there are copywriters who use social media to express their copy. You have Facebook, you have social media copywriting. There are copywriters who use email to express their writing. So they are called email copywriters. Do you understand? Are you guys following me?
Yes, we're following.
Okay. Okay, so there are copywriters who use billboard to express their copy. They are called traditional copywriters, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? So I know I said
Yes,
I
we
was going to
understand.
teach. I know the training is kind of going a little bit long. But then I said I was going to teach you types of copywriting today. So let me just give you, if you don't mind, let's just do types of copywriting. Wow. I've not taught you myths about copywriting. Should we first of all talk about um types of, myths about copywriting before we talk about? Okay, give me a minute. Let's talk about myths. Myths, things that untrue things about copywriting. Untrue things about copywriting. So, thank you, Lord. All right. So, number one, number one myth about copywriting is that copywriting is for good writers. Uh, yes, in a way, that's true. Copywriting, you have to be a good writer. I mean, you have to be a good writer, but I mean, you have to understand, you need to have a good command of the English language, but not necessarily for people. It's not necessarily for people who use big words that people cannot understand. So here's the point I'm trying to make here. There are some of you who think that because you don't speak big grammars, you can't make successful copywriters. That's not correct. That's not true. You've been lied to. You've been lied to. Are you listening? You've been lied to. In fact, the bigger your grammar, the more useless you are as a copywriter. You're useless. I'm serious. You're useless to your buyer, you're useless to your clients, and you're useless to yourself because you're going to be broke. I mean, I want to be reading your sales copy, and every now and then I'm meeting with new words that I've never met in my life, and so I have to carry my dictionary to check for the meaning of words from time to time while reading your sales copy. Please don't give me headaches. But you need to understand how to use punctuation marks. Yes, you need to know how to use the way to use your tenses. All right. You can't be saying, instead of saying, I went there yesterday, you can't be saying, I go there yesterday. Come on, please. For God's sake, have mercy. All right. You can be, you can be saying, you can be writing, instead of I am. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say here. So, please. So you can be saying, you can, there are, you just have to, you need to understand the basics of English language, be able to speak English language and not be blowing grammars all the time. That's all you need. You don't have to be an English student. You don't have to read English in the university. I didn't read English in the university. I'm an excellent copywriter. I mean, I don't have to call myself an excellent copywriter. You just have to read one of my sales copy to know I'm an excellent copywriter. All right. So, now, whether you're a good writer, that's an added advantage, but you don't need to be a superfluous copywriter, a superfluous writer to be an excellent copywriter. Do you understand? So, and also to be a successful copywriter, you don't have to be talented in writing. Copywriting is like 20% of writing, 20% of writing, 80% of research. Yes, that's what copywriting is. 80% of research, 20% of writing. That's what copywriting is. So you don't have to be so talented in writing. You don't even have to. Well, maybe you have to like to write, because I like to write. Maybe you have to like to write. I don't know about that, but all I know is that you don't Well, you're going to write a lot, please. As a copywriter, you write a lot. I just showed you. I just showed you a sales page. Today, I've written a copy. Tonight, I'm still going to write a copy to send to one of my clients tonight. Yesterday, I wrote a copy. I write like 3 copies in a day. So 3 sales copy in a day. So you're going to like to write whether you like it or not. You have to fall in love with it. So yeah, writing is important. But then I'm telling you that for every writing that I do, for every sales if I'm going to write for, let's say, I'm going to write something that is going to take me 40 minutes to write. Trust me, I've done like 3 hours research on it. Trust me. Do you understand? So research comes first before writing. We're going to get there later. All right. So the other myth is copywriters are English gurus. I think I've mentioned that. You don't have to be an A1. You don't need A1 in English to pass out as an excellent copywriter. I've mentioned that already. And copywriting is not manipulation. That's that's not true. Every copywriter is a manipulator. Yes, every copywriter is a manipulator. And now, before you fight me, because I registered for a training, and the person said that people say copywriters are not people say that copywriters are manipulators, but that's wrong. She said copywriters are not manipulators. We don't manipulate people. Well, I kept quiet because I don't correct my coach. I don't, even though she's way younger than me, but I don't correct my coaches. I just keep quiet. Then I saw a lady whom we attended the training together. She made a post about that. She was like, copywriters are not manipulators. And I told her, copywriters, I think I have the screenshots. I think I have the chats here. Then I told her, are you sure copywriters are not manipulators? And then she was like, yeah, copywriters are not manipulators. Then I said, what does it mean to manipulate people? That's what I told her. I said, what does it mean to manipulate people? Who is a manipulator? Who is a manipulator? And so she kept quiet. She couldn't answer me. So I knew she didn't understand the meaning of manipulation. So I Can you hear me? The network is really messing with me tonight. Can you
Yes, we
hear
can.
me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. So it also means I'm telling you the meaning of manipulation now. To manipulate means to control or play upon by artful means to one's own advantage. Okay, that's what it means to manipulate, and that's what we do as copywriters. As copywriters, we control people. You make them do what you want. Do you understand me? Now you're free to disagree with me and say you are not a manipulator, whether you like it or not. Once you're making someone reach into their pockets, all right, pick out their money and then give it to you to buy whatever you want them to buy. You're controlling them. And that's what it means to manipulate. It's like saying influence. You're influencing them. So manipulation doesn't necessarily mean something so bad. No, it just means like to negotiate, to engineer. Do you understand? To mastermind. Do you understand? But that's just by the way. All right. Another thing. Okay, so let's talk about terminologies used in copywriting. All right, terminologies used in copywriting. Number one, copy. Now the plural. The plural, who can tell us the plural of copywriting? Of copy, rather. The plural of copy. The plural. Who can tell us the plural of copy? Now, I
I
know a lot of
think it
people are
should be
going,
copies.
yes, that's what I expected. That's what I expected. A lot of people are going to say it's copies, but that's not true. It's not copies. It's sales copy. The plural of copy is copy. So if you now, it's not going to be sweet in your mouth. I mean, it's not going to be interesting in your mouth. I'm not going to tell you the reason why tonight. I'm not going to tell you the reason why. It's going to take a long time. These are things that people disagree with in the industry, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't improve your skill. It doesn't reduce your skill. So whether you call it copies or not, it just shows you've not studied well. Because every professional, that is good, who has done his homework well, who has researched well, will never call it copies. Never. So, well, you might want to change it from copies to copy. There was a reason why it's not copies. All right. You can search Google if you want. Search Google and study it for yourself, and then you get to understand the reason why. I'm not called out to tell you the reason why tonight. All right. So it's not copies. It's copy. Now, if you're saying I wrote many copy today, it might not sound nice in your mouth. All right. So that's why it's better to say I wrote many sales copy today. You see now, I wrote many sales copy today. That's better. So you can say the plural of copy is copy, or you could say the plural of copy is sales copy. That's better. So please don't say it's copies. Well, if you want, you can say copies. It doesn't matter. That's your palaver. Just the same way, a lot of people think it's graphics design. Well, there's nothing like graphics design. It's graphic design. There's no S. There's no S. So a lot of people keep saying it's graphics design. I'm a graphics designer. I'm a graphics this and that and this and that. But that's not correct. It's graphic design. It's graphic designer. It's graphic illustration. It's graphic this and that. However, if you was to stay alone, you can call it graphics. Wow, I love that graphics. Now that's understandable. Well, check your dictionary if you think I'm lying. So let's go ahead. What's a copy? A copy simply means a piece of information written by a copywriter. That's a copy. A piece of information written by a copywriter. All right, an example, where you can find a copy, you can find a copy in the magazine, you can find it on the web, you can find it on Billboard, you can find it here and there, and blah, 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 blah. So please, don't say 100 copies. 100 copies refers to, I don't want to tell you the reason why. I want you to go and search Google yourself. All right, that's your assignment. That's your assignment tonight. I want you to go online and research why it is copy, why it is 100 copy or 100 sales copy, not 100 copies. Why it is 100 sales copy, not 100 copies. I want you to go online to search why. And so I want you to post it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anywhere. I want you to post it and tag the name of and tag us, You First Dev Digital Skill. Tag us on that post. Is that okay? So I will check your assignments tomorrow. You're going to share the link before the class starts on Wednesday, rather, not tomorrow, on Wednesday. So I'm going to check it. So another term used in copywriting is lead. Lead simply means the introductory paragraph of your copy. The introductory paragraph of your copy. I'm going to show you examples of all of these things tomorrow. All right. Oh, no. I think I have an example here. Just give me a minute. Okay. Like I have a, wow. So this is it. I have a lot of copy here. That's why it's kind of difficult for me to. Jeez. This is serious. Oh yeah, found it. So, let me. Just give me a minute, all right? Give me a minute, guys. Please give me a minute. I didn't plan to to give all these examples. I just plan to talk about it, and so tomorrow. Uh, hmm. All right. Damn. Oh, yes. Found it. Okay. So now I'm gonna post something on the group on the channel right now. I'm gonna post something on the channel. So now I wrote, a New York-based fitness coach reveals that going to the gym is a waste of money and time. It will not make you physically fit. What makes you physically fit is not the gym, it's not a special trainer, and it's not even gym equipment. Before you read on, let me ask you a question. Have you paid for a gym membership before? If you have, then you don't need to read this post. You already know what I'm about to say is true. However, if you haven't, but you're planning to, then you must read this with undivided attention, or else you might never find out why going to the gym is a scam. And worst, you will not know what I did to get this hot body. Now, I don't know if you listened to this or you read that write-up, but I just want to show you the lead of this copy. The lead of this copy is the introductory part of this copy. And so the introductory part of this copy is before you read on, let me ask you a question. That's the lead. I'm trying to invite you. I'm trying to pull you into my copy so that you can read the copy. And so I intentionally cut this part so that you won't read the other parts, please. So if you want to read the full part, no, I'm not going to give you the full part to read. Very astonishing copy. I love it. One of my favorite copy. So that's that's that about that. Oh God. So that's a lead. All right. So there's another thing we call lead magnet in copywriting. Lead magnet. Now, lead magnet is I'm trying to look for a word that I can. Okay, lead magnet is like a free or a preview of your product or service that you give to your prospects. Now, before I explain lead magnet, let me explain what a prospect is. All right, so that you don't get it all mixed up. I think I've mentioned prospect here today, and so some of you might be saying, well, what's the meaning of prospect? Okay, now a prospect is someone who is interested, all right, who might know someone who might likely become your client, someone who might likely become your client or your customer. That's who a prospect is. So it's like a prospect is a potential customer or a potential client. Do you understand? That's who a prospect is. Do you understand? Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you here would like to own an iPhone? I mean, if you have the money, if you can afford it, how many of you here would like to own an iPhone? Let me hear from you, Mr. Godson Emeka. Would you like to own an iPhone? If you could afford it, would you like to own one?
I won't like to own an iPhone because it's just too expensive taking care of it
Okay.
and maintenance and all of that. I
No.
prefer
I'm
Samsung.
saying you have the money. Okay, hold on. What about the Samsung? Oh, did you just say Samsung now?
Yes.
So you prefer a Samsung?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Adebayo Lagos. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in your name. An iPhone or a Samsung?
Samsung.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, Jesus. I have less than 5 more minutes. Wow. 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 I'm just seeing this. The 5 minutes is up. I'm sorry for taking the time. Ooh, okay, let me just finish explaining prospect, then we'll continue from where we stop tomorrow. All right. So now, Emeka and Mr. Emeka and Mr. Adebayo, both of them are prospects. They are prospects of. They are both prospects of Samsung. If they don't own, Mr. Emeka, you don't own a Samsung now, right? I'm also thinking Mr. Adebayo does
I
not
don't have
own.
one.
Okay, good. So you are a prospect of Samsung. You are a likely client, a likely customer of Samsung. You don't own one, but you would like to own one if you can afford it. If you have the money now, you could get a Samsung. So you're a prospect of Samsung. So that's who a prospect is when it comes to copywriting or marketing. So when you hear prospect, just understand that it means someone who might end up being your customer or might end up being your client. So that's what it is. Thank you so very much, everyone, for having me tonight. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Fortunatus, once again for this great opportunity. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll continue from where we stop. Thank you.